smile, 'cause it's been a while. It's been like a whole day since I stopped so you could hold me. But this child awaits, strong in the faith. Lord, you are the refuge that I can't wait to get to, 'cause I can't let a day go, can't let a day go.
It's Transformation Power Hour. The time to transform is now. Welcome to Transformation Power Hour. This is our first of a 5-week series. This week we're going to cover health and well-being. We're going to talk about emotional health, physical health, nutritional health. Then next Tuesdays at 7:30, we're actually going to talk about women in the ministry, your spirituality, your connection with you. The third week, we're going to talk about relationship. You are amazing. Did you know that? We're going to talk about how to harness your own power from within, how to take care of that person that evolves and flows and grows unapologetically in this world. The goddess, that's who I'm talking about. And the fourth week, we're going to talk about vocation, doing the work that you love and getting paid for it, one step at a time. We will talk to goddesses about that. And the final week, we're going to talk about time and money freedom. It's important. Ladies, goddesses, we are behind the head ball when it comes to our finances. We need to take the time to tune in to what we need, not just in all the other four spectrums, but also our finances, because we know as we grow and our finances, we can do so much more in the world, and we want to take that seriously as well. So for now, here is a moment for you to think about, for you to tune in to the goddess within you and take a deep breath, because what we have for you today is life-changing. I hope you've been listening and watching our commercials, because today we have a moment and I have a panel of guests here that are well-versed in health and well-being, and they have so much to offer you. So I hope you get a chance to walk through this with us, and we'll have some special tips and things you can implement, things you can implement at the end of the show that will help you to grow spiritually, physically, and emotionally, and that is so important. So here is one thing I want you to think about. Your body is a temple. And if your body is a temple and you are a goddess, how do you take care of that body specifically? I have a book here. Many of us are familiar with this book. But I want you to imagine for a moment, this is your journal. This is your life story. On this side, these pages have been filled with everything that you have lived thus far until now. On this side, these pages have been left to be filled. And you can fill it with whatever you like. So take a breath and decide from now on, what am I going to fill the rest of my life with? You are a beautiful, creative, and fearless goddess. And we expect, as a group, as a society, as a universal force, we want all of us, including you, to live in, live up, and live out the goddess power. Breathe. Before I introduce my guest, I want you to really contemplate for a moment, what does it mean to you to have a healthy mind? What does it mean to you to have a healthy body? Do you wake up every day feeling energized, or are you lethargic? And when I say lethargic, do you feel slow and not interacting very well with the world? The information we will share here with you today will help you not only to wake up feeling energized, but knowing what to put in your body, how to stretch, how to move, the types of food you need to eat in order to live out and to live up every day your purpose in the way that you need to. First, I have 3 guests here. We have Jerry Baker, we have Takara Felix, and we have Louise Fletcher. And they're going to be sharing with us specifically ways that we can focus on creating a beautiful mind and body. Here is a poem for you. Think about it for a moment. I am a goddess. I declare I am free. When I take a look at you, you multiply me. Approval from men I seek not to incur. The goddess in me loves, accepts, reflects, and walks in her own destiny. There's so much to do that could never be done. Come on, join me in love and laughter. Let's have some fun. I seek to build up, not to destroy. My joys today, I pray, reflect love and one universal sound. And if you believe today you're a goddess, it's time for you to change your state. It's time for you to change your mindset about how you wake up, how you project yourself into the world, because you deserve the best, but that best has to start with you. So let's start with Louise. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a little older than some of you. And what I have to say today is really from life and what I've noticed. And the older I get, the more I notice that people don't care or don't know about balance of food. They don't know a lot about the things that really matter. They just go along with their life as if that's the way it should be. And it's not. They can have a much better life if they will really work at it. And you don't have to work too hard, because I'm going to try to tell you an easier way. I'm going to draw some pictures. First, happy, healthy, and assuredly satisfied life is, and these are the feelings of a person who daily tries to live by the food guide plan: alkaline 80%, acid 20%. This I'll share with you. Imagine, if you will, a whole day, a whole week, a whole month, years, eating tasty foods, 4 veggies, 4 fruits, and so forth, and we being full and in good, bright mood, always in a good mood, with good digestion, clear colons, and strong health. No Alka-Seltzer and no Tums in sight. Whee! Now imagine also sitting at dinner in a quiet, lovely, serene setting, enjoying a glass of purified water. After some quiet music and bowing for a heartfelt thanks to our universal intelligent guide, we begin eating a delicious salad full of perky, fresh, I'm underlining fresh, lettuce, celery, cut carrots, cut up tomatoes from the vine, almonds, dried or fresh figs, cherries, sunflower seeds, flax seeds, and so forth. These are all alkaline foods. Then the salad is topped with a nice mound of shredded Parmesan cheese, which is acid food as most dairy products are. Did you know that? I didn't. Next is a main course plate of wild salmon, broiled or baked, 1 or 2 ounces. That's acid food. And 1 small sweet potato, of course, that's alkaline, very easy to eat. Never gives you a stomach ache, I don't think. And then a half cup of rainbow Swiss chard, that's alkaline. All these beautiful green vegetables.
Oh, thank you, Louise.
Okay.
We're going to let you share a little bit more later. That's okay. That's okay.
Thank you.
Takara, tell us about yourself and why you do what you do.
Well, first, thank you so much for having me, Miss Shawna Haley, on your show. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you.
Let me introduce myself. So my name is Takara Rashida Felix. I am here to speak about fitness, exercise, mental health, the importance of having a clarity of mind in your everyday life. And, you know, when we have goals in our life and we have things that we would like to accomplish, it's really important that we set forth and do those things in a very healthy and positive way. So I'm very excited to be here and speak about this in more detail with you today.
Thank you. Jerry Baker.
And again, thank you so much for having me on. I'm going to give a little background, if I may, on myself.
Sure.
I actually, for the first 27 years of my professional life, I was an allied health scientist in the Navy. I joined for 3 and then retired 27 years later. But and then following that, I spent 15 years as a defense contractor, supporting the Defense Health Agency in Falls Church. And then I, quote, retired. And about that time, I discovered Shackley Corporation, which was founded by Dr. Forrest Shackley, who created the first multivitamin in 1915. And he always said that we really weren't going about healthcare in the right way. Our healthcare system was focusing on treating disease, and he felt like we should be focusing on building wellness. And at that point in time, I had a shift in my mindset after 40-some years in the healthcare field, and realized that was really the way to better health, was to build wellness. So why do I do what I do? Just a quick side issue or side story here. My wife and I have a nonprofit in which we sell her paintings. She's an artist. And we use that money to fund water wells in East Africa. And we'd love to do that because we can create better health for 1,000 people at a time with a single well. But we like to do that here as well, only it's more one at a time. But we love that too because we have an opportunity to meet with people and to show them how they can be, how they can build wellness in their own lives and avoid having to go and be treated for disease. So that's our passion, is just to help people. I think probably that's the passion we all have, is to help people to live healthier lives.
Awesome. Thank you, Jerry. And I don't think I officially introduced myself. My name is Shawna Halley. I am an inspirational and transformational speaker, and I do group and laser coaching specifically with women, helping them to harness the goddess within, to recognize, to trust, to nurture, and to harness the goddess within to transformative thought process of self-love, self-acceptance, and self-discovery. It's time for us women to step up. It's time for us to start to love ourselves and appreciate who we are and walk in our true, inner, infinite power, loving, appreciating, open to discovering what all that we can be, do, and have in this world. And as we go through our nutrition portion of our segment here tonight, as I mentioned, we have 5 more coming up. I want to remind you, this is a call-in show, and about 20 minutes after, we will, in a few minutes, we will go in. We will actually accept calls. If you have a question or you have a comment that you want to share, the number is 804-915-5202. And that's 804-915-5202. And as the guests, as we share specifics about your diet, about your mental, the imagery that you are portraying in the world as a woman, I want you to take for a moment, what would you just love to be creating in your life when it comes to your health? How do you want to feel? What are you putting into your body that maybe that you should stop or limit? Because I know most of us know what to do, but a lot of times if we don't have the structure of support and help, we will start, but we won't finish. It's like a New Year's diet. Our New Year's diet plan. Oh, I'm going to do this, first of the year, and then by March, we're back doing the same thing we've been doing. So it's important to have a structure of support. And each guest tonight is going to share with you specifically how you can take the time, and it doesn't have to be a lot. And I want you to think about this seriously. If for anyone who have flown on an airplane before, the first thing that the flight attendant tell you to do when they're giving instruction, if there's an emergency, they say put your mask on first. Then you can help someone else around you. The same thing it is with our health. Sometimes we spend so much time helping other people, we don't recognize that if we can pour from an empty cup, we can give what we don't have. And if you pour into yourself, then you can give your family and your friends a different type of life. By example. Takara, what would you like to share as far as helping women in that area?
Well, I think today in our society, one of the biggest obstacles that we as women / individuals have to overcome is the fast-paced life that we're in. We have work, we have after-school activities, we have family obligations, and do we want to take that call.
Sure.
Okay, I'll pick it up.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good evening.
Welcome to Transformation Power Hour. What's your name, and do you have a question or a comment for us?
Now, I have a comment. I've been here a long time.
Okay.
I want to see, where's the love? Where is the love and the family? Where's the love? We can't make it. You can't make it without love. My sisters and brothers.
We so agree with that. We totally agree.
You cannot make it
We agree with that.
without love.
That's right. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Thank you
Oh,
for your
thank
comment.
you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Yes, I agree with that comment. Thank you for that caller. We cannot make it in this world without love. Picking up to where I was saying, we have a lot of obligations with family, with friends, and it's really important in our life that, going back to what you said, before we could take care of others, we have to take care of ourselves. We can't give mentally and emotionally what we are not at a point yet to give. So that's why it's very important that we are exercising daily. We are incorporating that into our everyday lifestyles, that we are meditating daily. For many of us, sometimes it's really hard to create that routine. And at the beginning of every year, many of us will make those resolutions. Okay, this is what I'm going to do, and we end up falling off. And something that I would like to encourage people to do is, when we make goals, it's not something that we will always continue straight forth. We will fall off, but we have to tell ourselves we have to get back on the bandwagon. We have to do that for ourselves. So it's not something that discipline is something that we have to work at. We have to work at self-discipline. And the one tip that I would encourage people first to start off with is really honing in on your morning routine. When you wake up in the morning, you want to thank the universe. You want to thank God, whatever your belief is. You recognize that you have an opportunity to change your life. You have an opportunity to do what you're here on earth to do. And with that, I do believe that your day starts off so much more positively, and you will complete more than you would have even set out to do.
Thank you, Takara.
We have another caller.
We have another caller.
Yes, welcome to the show.
Good evening.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hello. What's your name?
My name is Mrs. Clayton. I've been here long time. Long.
Thank you, Miss Creighton.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, when it comes to health, what I was saying before about falling off the bandwagon, I'm going to raise my hand present. And one thing I've had to do honestly within the last year is I always had two sides to my closet. I had two sides to my closet because my weight will always go up and down. And I had to make a conscious decision about, okay, Shawna, if you are keeping two sides to your closet, that means you are expecting to gain weight again, right? So you're just going to keep those clothes. So last year, I made a decision to go ahead and clean out that side of my closet so I can focus and commit to the healthy weight and the healthy lifestyle that I want to live. And it is so important that when you make a decision for your health, because you only have one body to take you through the entire lifespan that you're going to live here on the earth. So why not take the time to go ahead and 15 minutes, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, read about it, live about it, be about it. And I would like for you to have an agreement with me and commit with me. Just come into agreement with me that you will do the same for your life, because we so deserve to live the best life now. And how can we live and do the work that we need to do in the world if we don't feel good? And that goes back to what our eating plan. It goes back to our exercise plan, to our spiritual meditative plan. Do we take time to connect with ourselves? So Jerry has more to talk about when it comes to our health, our nutrition.
Nutrition.
Yes.
Shall I answer that?
We have another caller. Hello.
I forgot what button to push. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Hello there, caller. Welcome. What is your name? Do you have a question or a comment?
Thank you for picking up the phone again. I want to talk to you about the children that's hungry.
Okay. Ma'am, this show, we appreciate that.
I
And
want to talk to you about Jesus Christ. Now, he keep cutting me off. So y'all can go right on playing the game.
Thank you so much for your call, ma'am.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to hear about what you have to say about nutrition, Jerry.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. Well, one thing I know about women.
Okay.
Well, there's a few things I know. But the women are the doers. They're the caregivers. They're the fixers. They're the nurturers. And 70% of you then go out into the world and work at a job outside the home. And those of you who are at home, a lot of you are working at home or have your own businesses. And one thing that can cause is something called stress. I know you don't probably get stressed, right?
okay.
Everyone, not just women. Everyone.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually 60 to 90% of visits, doctor's visits, are stress related, and 5 of 6 causes of disease are impacted by stress. And I've got a whole list of things I won't go into in great detail, but stress is really a good thing because it's that fight or flight. So when something happens that you need to run or you're in danger, that's what you want to do. But your heart rate increases and your blood pressure increases and you get an energy burst. But that's really intended to last for a certain period of time and then resolve. Well, unfortunately, in today's society, we have a stress, and then we have another stress, and we have another stress, and then we don't ever, but oftentimes we go from stress to stress to stress. And what happens is that your body continues to produce cortisol and adrenaline, which is good for that stress time, but it's not good for that to continually be in your system. So we see just some of the impacts. I won't go into great detail, but it impacts the digestive and immune system. It can cause heart disease. It can cause dementia and memory loss. And it's also been linked to atherosclerosis and arthritis and asthma and bone breakdown and that sort of thing. So that's the bad news. The good news is, what can you do? And actually, my mother was right when she said, first thing you do is count to 10. And, the doctor is supposed to tell you that today. Just slowly count to 10. Breathe deeply and slowly is one other thing. Massage is a good thing because you're releasing toxins from your muscles. Meditation, and I know Takara will talk probably more about that, and yoga and that sort of thing. Exercise, sleeping well, which can be a challenge. Laughing is another good thing, and that's why it's fun being here and laughing with you. It's helping to relieve the stress. But then we do have some, and also maintaining a healthy diet. And I'd like to talk about that a little bit more, but I probably ought to let Lois have some time.
Okay. All right. Louise.
Oh, yes. Well, we have a nice serene dinner, and I won't go on, but dessert is ice cream. Well, that's another acid. And to have with your meal, you have coffee, that's acid, and you have tea, that's acid. And by the way, I didn't know that coffee is a food if you have nothing with it, and so it can be very helpful. so your drink can be entirely acid. And by the way, most fruit juices you buy in the store have too much sugar. They have far over 10 grams. That's way too much. So you don't want to even drink that. Be absolutely firm that you're getting the balance of 80% alkaline and the 20% acid. Here's some tips. 2 hours after eating a meal or an hour before, have an orange a day. That orange, when it gets in your stomach, it turns to not acid. It's already, you think it's already acid, but it's having a senior moment here.
No, you're fine. You're right, actually.
Alkaline. And so when you've eaten the whole orange, you're getting not more energy, not only more energy, but you're getting an alkaline plus, and all the things that help you to strengthen your immune system. And the other thing is tomatoes. Stewed tomatoes, like in the winter, or fresh tomatoes right after off the vine. They also, actually, they have all the vitamins in them. All the main vitamins tomatoes have in them. And so that's, along with the oranges, they will really help you to have a stronger digestion, stronger and clearer colon and so forth. Another thing is let's see, I said tomatoes already. Before the next holiday, don't plan on eating a lot of sweets and eating a lot of meat. Meat is definitely acid, and you don't want to, stock up on something that's bad for you, or just a little bit,
Okay.
Okay.
And just to add on to the meat in your part of your diet, so I've been trying something sort of new lately. So meat, more chicken, fish, occasionally red meat, burgers and such were a part of my diet. Recently, I have cut back a lot of chicken. I've cut back on a lot of fish, and really just trying to stick to veggies and fruits. Now, that is not a set in stone diet. I do believe part of your physical health is not depriving yourself of what lovely foods and tasty foods that the world has to offer. Now, I do also believe that if foods don't make you feel well, if you're feeling, drowsy, if you're feeling not high in energy, then I do believe that you need to look at your diet, and maybe Jerry and Louise could add on to this. But I know with working out, if I'm going to have a very high intense workout, I'm loading up on carbs. I will include more protein, fish, and that does make a difference within my healthy lifestyle. So, yeah.
Okay, and just to add to what Takara was saying, I have noticed that my stomach gets very, very bloated after meals, and I learned that I need to cut out dairy. That was not working for me.
Yeah.
And then I also noticed that it will happen when I eat too fast. Sometimes we have such a busy lifestyle that you're eating and you're running, you're eating and you're running. And part of self-care and taking care of my body is making sure, because everything in my stomach affects my mind. So part of taking care of all of me is making sure that I really take the time to stop and really enjoy my food and eat it, and really, savor every morsel of it, because that's where I am in my life now. I'm seeing places I need to adjust, and I am intentionally taking the time to adjust, because if what I put into me don't feel good, then why keep doing it? And that's, I'm not saying it's easy, but it's worth it. And that's just a way that I'm choosing to go right now.
And let me just add on to the fast lifestyle. We keep on saying fast lifestyle. I've come up, yes, I invented this word. I've come up with a way to get more time. You know what that way is? It's to say and
and prioritize, right?
Yes. Saying no, honestly saying, people will say, just say no, just say no, just say no. It really does work. Things that will not help you to grow personally, it will not help your family, your closest friends, that they don't align with your long-term goals. Those obligations have to be cut out. Yeah. And because you are pouring into someone else's life, you have those people, you have those friends, family that want to be around you. Sometimes you have to set yourself as a priority. You come first. You are the person that comes first. And if they're your friends, if they're the family that love you, they'll understand. They'll be there at the end. And that's how we will create more time. That's how we'll get more time to sit down. We'll get more time to eat and make those healthy choices. When we have no time, those are when the bad choices of picking food come in. And I experience that all the time. Like, I don't have time. I'm always on the go. Sometimes I'm like, I'm just going to swing past this fast food restaurant, get this real quick. And that is very unhealthy. It's unhealthy for our mind because we're telling ourselves that we don't have time for ourselves.
Mm-hmm. You're
that
right.
We don't care that much about ourselves to make a healthy choice to put food inside our body. So we have to take a step back and really, think about the items that we put into our body.
And in thinking of a full spectrum life that is balanced and satisfying and will lead to happiness, when you think about it, my mentor told me everything needs to go on a calendar, including your meals. Including your meals. I know most jobs right now will only give people 30 minutes to eat. That's just not enough. Everything needs to go on the calendar. So there's time for exercise. There's time to eat your healthy meal. There's time to plan your healthy meals. There's time to exercise. There's time to talk on the phone. There's time to just be alone with you. And if those things are important to us, and like Takara mentioned, prioritizing, then we will sit down. Jim Rohn says, don't start your day before ending your day. Don't start your month before ending your month, and don't start your year before ending your year. What does that mean really? It means before I start my day, I need to know how do I want to feel at the end of the day, and I need to plan. It's like reverse engineering. I need to plan my day backwards. This is how I want to feel at the end of the day. So these are the steps I'm going to take throughout the days to make sure that I feel this way and I have the things that I need to have done accomplished at the end of the day. So here is something to think about. And this poem is called How Do I Know? And it relates to time, because time is really in our hands. We choose to do with the time that we have. We all have 24 hours in one day. And why do some people accomplish more in 24 hours and some people don't? It's because of priority and saying no. And it says, making time for what matters. If you say it matters, how does it show? Do I know? There is 24 hours in a day, 1,440 minutes, 86,400 seconds. Where is your balance? Is it too much of this? Not enough of that? What do you allow to fall through the cracks? To get, you must first give. To fill, you must first empty. To circulate, you must allow the flow. If your heart is open to me, and me means me, I'm talking to me. If my heart is open to me and I want the best life ever when it comes to my health and every other area of my life, because we know if I'm not healthy, I really can't function well in those other areas. So if my heart is open to me, my actions will show, love will flow, and then I'll know how important I am. And I will take the time to write down the things that are important to me, say no what I need to say no to, and move into that. And that is my commitment to me. Jerry?
Wait, I'm sorry. Before I just want to add one last thing. When people, sometimes when we say no, sometimes we have this thought as human beings automatically, oh, this person is not going to like us. Oh, they're going to think that I think they're a bad person. And that adds on to stress.
Oh, sure.
And that is one thing that we, as individuals, have to realize on the receiving end as well. If someone tells me no, it's not because I'm a bad person. It's simply that I'm not in line with what that they need at that moment, and vice versa. And I think it's really important that no is not a bad word, and it's not a word that is intentionally that is meant to hurt anyone, especially when you're speaking about your mental and physical fitness.
Right. And we shouldn't take it personally.
Exactly.
Yeah, I want to build on that a little bit. I talked earlier about women, of course, being very nurturing. And unfortunately, sometimes women are so nurturing of others that they fail to take care of themselves. And I think that's, consistent with what you've been saying. And Shawna stole from my closing remark about the flight attendant. You really have to take care of yourself if you really want to take care of your children. Now, one of the things I talked about was maintaining a healthy diet. But 99% of Americans fail to meet the USDA guidelines. But even if they did, I was talking earlier with Louise about the fact that over the last 100 years, the mineral content of vegetables has decreased by over 90%. We're not getting the nutrition in our foods that we used, that our grandparents did, even, no matter how good we think we're eating. There's a lot of reasons for that. The soil is depleted, there's pesticides and there's herbicides, there's GMO, there's foods that are picked before they're really ripe so they can be shipped. There's even sometimes when we cook vegetables until they're mushy. Well, they don't have any vitamins left. And there's a lot of other things. And one thing that is a real killer is sugar. Sugar depletes 11 vitamins and minerals in order to be metabolized. So your body is not getting those vitamins and minerals that they really need. And scientific studies have shown that we really need to supplement our diet with high quality vitamins and minerals, antioxidants, omega-3 fish oil, protein-rich. I use a protein-rich shake, which has 24 grams of protein. That really gives me what I need to get through the day. And probiotics, they're so important for our immune system because 80% of your immune system is in your gut. So you want to have healthy bacteria. But that's a lot. I mean, how do you decide what you need? You go to the health food store, and you look at the rows and rows of vitamins and minerals. One thing that we use, a tool that we use, is something called, I'm going to show you a picture here. It's called Health Print. And what the Health Print is, it's an online questionnaire. And you answer about 20 questions, and it actually develops a personalized and comprehensive nutrition plan for you. Things that you can do to meet your 3 main health goals within the budget that you determine. And that's been a real key for us in helping people to become healthier. If I have time, I'll tell you one of my favorite stories. But so how do I get my Health Print information, you may ask. I hope you're asking that. How do I get my Health Print information? You just go to your browser and type in getmyhealthprint.info, and once you complete that questionnaire, you'll automatically get an email with your nutrition plan. So getmyhealthprint.info.
Awesome. And let's not forget, this is a call-in show. We would love to hear your questions or comments. The number is 804-915-5202. So let's shift gear a little bit here. Let's talk a little bit about I know Jerry mentioned it and Takara mentioned it as well, but what's inside of our gut affects our mental capacity, our mental ability to really have strong insight, to be able to react on contact. Takara, can you tell me a little bit about that, and then incorporate your meditation as well?
Sure. Well, my first tip I would like to say I would give anyone the advice is do not be around anything that antagonizes you. Do not be in an environment that just gets on your nerves. You know, a lot of times as human beings, because it's natural, we complain about things that we could change like that. You know, I don't like the church I'm in, you know, this person said that, this person said that. Oh, I don't like my gym. They just increased the whatever. Oh, I don't like this chapter because this X, Y, and Z. Then leave. Change. And sometimes it is hard because you do feel like you are going to hurt people's feelings. You feel like people are going to judge you. But guess what? You probably are going to hurt people's feelings and they'll be okay. And you are going to be judged and you'll be okay too.
Yes.
The world goes round and around. So I mean, that's one thing I feel like as us as individuals, as women, you know, women in our society, we are, you know, watched with a scope. You know, we have so many expectations, and the world has very high standards for us. And no matter what we do something right, we're going to get judged. We do something wrong, we're going to get judged. You do nothing at all, you're going to get judged. So do where your heart leads you to. Do what you feel like you are set in this world to do. Again, I mean, these circumstances are very controllable. You know, a lot of times we think that, I just don't have, I can't control what's going on. I can't control the stress that I have, but in all reality, you can. And it starts with controlling your morning routine. It starts with saying no. It starts just with leaving and changing your environment. You have to realize that you are not a tree. You know, when speaking about meditation, when we meditate, we close our eyes and we focus on our breathing. We focus on thinking about a world that's outside of where we are. And you know, right here we're in Richmond. As an educator teaching in Richmond, I like to tell students, you know, the world is bigger than Richmond. The world is so much bigger than Richmond. Think outside of what this metro area, Chesterfield, Henrico, Glen Allen. Think about what's outside of that. There are more states, there are more countries, there are more places for you to see. And when you think of those possibilities, you fall in love with it, and that falling in love with the possibility of you traveling and expanding your horizon to fulfill that growth, to fulfill that knowledge. That's what relieves that stress. That's what will make us realize as individuals that we are human beings and we could grow.
Right. And just to add to that, anything that's not growing is dying. And as human beings, we need to feel, we are always pulled to more. And when we start to feel frustrated or confined or even to the point where it is getting uncomfortable for us, it's our mind, it's our body telling us it's time for you to move to something. It's time for another level. You've outgrown where you are. It's time for you to step into something. And something else is pulling us, but sometimes the fear will cause us not to move forward, when if we don't move forward, we're actually dying, because you're going to continue to complain, we're going to continue to be frustrated, and before you know it, sickness will actually, physical, it starts with our mental first. When we start to complain a whole lot, that's a mental deficiency, and it will start to actually move into our body and become a physical ailment if we don't take care of it. So when you start to feel uncomfortable, no, it's time for you to move to the next level of your life.
And as an example, so this is a pet peeve of mine, is when people shorten my name that I just meet. My name is Takara. I've gone my whole life Takara. My full name is Takara Rashida Felix, but all of my family friends call me Takara. And you know, my family and close friends, you have, you know, special exceptions. But with people that you first meet, oh, can I call you T? Or in a man's world, you know, baby, hun. Those are pet peeves for me, and I will many times address it right there. Hun, kid, love, boo. I don't like it, and I found myself in situations if I have to correct you more than once, because we both speak English. You may get the pass if you don't speak English, but if we both speak English and you understand the words, and you heard the words come out my mouth, then that's not an environment for me, and I'm most likely will slowly just exit. And I think a lot of times when, as individuals, if you're in an environment, like you said, that you're not, if it makes you feel uncomfortable, if you're not receiving what you're pouring in, then that's your time. That's your time to say, bye-bye, and thank you for all that you have offered me up until this point. And that's God's way, that's the universe's way of telling you to grow, to continue on, and no animosity towards anything or anyone. That's just part of life that we keep transcending to newer levels.
Yeah.
And we teach people how to treat us, because sometimes we assume people know. But if we don't say anything, then we're going to get what we're not speaking up about. And that's important. Luis, do you have any final words for us?
Yes, that's a good point. And I wanted to mention that all these toxins that we get from the air, we get from the earth. It's really...
Get from people.
Yes, it's from people, right?
And they're under your sink, too.
We can do something about it. We can arm ourselves with the orange a day, with the tomatoes, with the best things. Not the most expensive, but the best things for us, the alkaline. Look at the difference. All of these right here are the 20% acid. So if you just sort of remember them, it's not all dairy that is bad. You can drink acidophilus, right? Is that what I mentioned?
Acidophilus, the live bacteria.
And you don't have to give it up, just a little bit. Just a little bit goes a long way. There are only about 7 vegetables that are acid. There are only about 5 fruits that are acid. But all canned fruits that are canned with sugar are acid. So that's what I love. I think the taste is wonderful, but I'm going to have to cut it out because of the sugar. And one other thing, this says that all meats are acid. That doesn't mean you can't eat a little bit, and certainly fish. We know fish is good for us, so you can still eat 1 or 2 ounces. All nuts are acid. And remember, you only need 20% acid, so that means you don't want to go over that. You want to stay within that balance of 20-80, 80 alkaline. And there are 2 coconuts and almonds. You can fill up on almonds, and that is alkaline, and you won't go wrong there.
Thank you,
miscellaneous, I was surprised to see cocoa because I take a lot of cocoa and drink a lot of cocoa and chocolate without sugar. But there again, if I just keep it down, don't overeat it, I'll be fine. Egg whites are acid. Did you know that? And mayonnaise, so you don't want to spread that on too thickly. And vegetable oils. Now we're told to cook with vegetable oils. And olive oil is safe for cooking, but again, you just want a moderate amount. You don't want to overdo it. So
Awesome.
You be playing safe. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, we have a few more minutes, so we're going to take a few minutes just to kind of wrap up, and Jerry and Takara, as well as Luis. Do you guys have anything special coming up? How can our viewers contact you if they need to get more information about what you're doing and what's coming up in your life for 2018-2019?
Well, if you would like to contact me, you could follow my social media handle. It's Takara Rashida. Takara Rashida on Facebook. And Takara Rashida on Instagram as well. It's TAQUARARASHIDA. And I am working on some projects right now, and when the time is appropriate, I cannot wait to share it with the world. So until then, if anyone has any questions or anything that you would like to bring to my attention, please reach out to me. You can also email me as well, felixtr12@gmail.com, and I am going to respond to you.
Awesome.
All right. Well, 2018-19, I'm going to continue to do what we've been doing, is just trying to expand our reach in Richmond and Charlottesville and Fredericksburg, and just reaching more and more people to show them how they can develop greater wellness and enjoy their lives free of disease. And so that's our passion, and that's what we'll continue to do. And I'm also looking to bring in others who want to join me in that effort to help their friends as well. So the best way to get in touch with me, well, there's a couple ways. You can go on my Facebook page, which is Fit for Life, and you'll see a lot of posts there. Also, you can reach me at my email, which is Jerry Baker, JERRYBAKER, LKA, which stands for Lake Anna. We live on Lake Anna. So Jerry Baker, LKA, at gmail.com. And also, again, I'll plug this again, the health print. If you want a personalized, comprehensive nutrition plan, just go to getmyhealthprint.info, and I will contact you when I receive your report, and we can talk about it, and hopefully we can help you to achieve better health. I do want to say one thing that I did miss, particularly with women. I mean, there are a lot of nutritional needs, but one of the most important for women is bone health. And we offer a what's called osteomatrix, which is calcium and vitamin D to help to absorb calcium, because 50% of women over the age of 50, I think, will experience a bone break because of osteoporosis. So you want to start even as young as 12 to start to build your bones so you have strong bones, and we can help with that.
Louise, what you have planned?
And you can get those fresh green vegetables starting May the 2nd, I think it is, first Saturday in May, at St. Stephen's Church. They have it outdoors, and they're very reasonable and excellent. Those greens are picked the night before. Oh, you can't get, I was telling Shawna that those greens are very perky, very, alive. For 3 weeks in my refrigerator if I have to keep them that long. But I eat them very fast. So I'll be glad to share them with you.
All right, so for me, I'm excited about actually coming out with my second book in June, and it is called The Will to Transform, Honoring the Goddess Within. And I have another project I'm working on I'm writing a book specifically for young rainbow goddesses in Africa, specifically for the CLS Kenya organization that is all about helping women in Africa to empower themselves to read, to write, to own their own business, and to help their children to develop more and more. So that's a project I'm working on, and the book is just for them. To contact me, because remember, I am a goddess. I declare I am free. So what I love to do is to be a mirror for women, honestly, truthfully. When women look at me, I want them to see themselves. When I look at them, I want them to see me, because we are no different. We may look different, but inside we're all spirit beings. And all we need is to start to support each other. So let's prepare to be positive and proactive and to practice the process. Life is a process. We have to prepare. Where are you going? Dress rehearsal. What is dress rehearsal? That means I expect to be somewhere. So every day I'm going to wake up and show up like I'm already there. So when I get there, I'm not surprised. Women, wake up. You are beautiful. You are wonderful. You are awesome. You are amazing. It's time for us to think about when you enter a woman's presence, When you enter a woman's presence, know that you are there to contribute. You're not there to compete. We don't have to compete against each other for what? Why? What God has for me is for me. What he has for you is for you. This world is a puzzle, and everybody have their pieces they can have their place to fit into. And one thing I want to encourage you too, sometimes you have to move around to find where your place is. Don't have anybody tell you what you're doing over here, what you're doing over there. None of their business. You have to move around. If you wear a size 9 shoes and you put on a size 8, you don't know that thing don't fit until you put it on your feet. You got to put it on first. And sometimes we have to try on things in life to know if we fit. And if we don't fit, like the Cara said, get up and go. You're not a tree. You're not stuck.
Yeah.
But in finding our purpose, everywhere we go, even if we don't fit in, it is a learning process. It's training us. It's developing our skills. So commit to yourself. Get clear on where you want to go with your life. When you want to go to a hair salon, I'm talking about hair salons because I'm a stylist, partially. When you want to go and find a new hair salon, you put hair salon in Google. Google give you all the hair salons. They give you all the hair salons. You have to know specifically what salon you want to go to. You put it in and they'll give you a map that will take you right to that salon. Sometimes they'll take you around a little bit, but they'll still take you there. Right. But at the end of the day, try on things. Try new things. Do some new stuff with your life. Because wherever you go, you're going to learn and grow. So get clear on what you want for your life. For you, not for what your family wants for you. What do you want for you? Get clear on that. Then make a decision. There is clarity and power in decision. Decide. You don't have to know where you're going to go. You don't have to know how you're going to get there. That's God's job. He will guide you one step at a time. So get clear. Decide. Commit. Commitment is making a decision before you have a solution. That's what that is. Commitment is making a decision before you have a solution. Get clear, decide, commit, and be resolved that the boat has set sail and you're not turning back. This is where I'm going. God is guiding me and I got this. Transformation Power Hour coming to you live next week again. The topic will be spirituality, tuning in to the goddess within. Women in the ministry. See you next week. Tune in.
Next week.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. Yay.